Thank you for having me on again. I'd be remiss if I didn't notice that Smithers was bitched out and not here again, and that he's afraid to face me like a man. I get it.
Classic. Yeah, no, he is scary. We also need somebody to take up our dad conversations of the week here. So just curious, just to start out, we need to get this out of the way. Yep. How is the 405 as our amateur traffic analyst over here, Darryl? We need to know what's going on at the 405 immediately, and then we can continue with the podcast.
We can tell you about the weather.
This morning, the 405 was actually wide the fuck open. Had to go to the airport. Yeah, no, it was smooth sailing. It only took me about 35 minutes, so I will take it.
Okay, that's
yesterday. Not so much.
Okay.
What's the most time you ever spent on the 405, like in traffic?
Well, because the 405 goes all the way down to San Diego, so it took me about 7 hours to get from San Diego to LA because of traffic and accidents.
Via the 405.
Yeah, on the 405.
Yeah, 405.
So I was on the 405 the whole time, just sitting on the 405 for 7 hours on the 405.
405.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How many fives? 405. Okay.
Is there a 504 or just a 405?
No, not here.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a 504 somewhere.
504 never has traffic. It's insane.
But no one ever takes it.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Clear roads at all times.
But it doesn't go anywhere. That's the problem. It just goes in a loop.
Yeah, it's just a fake road, actually. Yeah. So anyone who's on it is a psychopath.
I got to go out to Cali and take the 405. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
What a thrill ride bucket list you have. Do you also have watching paint dry on there?
Yeah.
That would be faster.
It would be.
Sit in traffic on the 405.
Yeah. Check.
Yeah. Honk at somebody, be a jerk to somebody in LA about how bad the traffic is so you can be relatable.
Yeah. Cut someone off. Have someone cut you off.
What a thrill ride.
Exactly. All right. Well, for our listeners, Darryl's been on what, 2-3 episodes in the past? I think
I was on one episode, but but I've been talked about before. For the true listeners, you guys know who I am.
Oh yeah.
Well, Darryl has a podcast called Watch Alike.
I do.
Correct, Darryl?
Yes.
And you do that with your buddy Danny, and you guys are out in California.
Yeah. So we're based out here in LA. Danny's an actor. Struggling actor, trying to get his grind on right now.
Of course.
So we do our own little podcast out here. I'm not in the industry whatsoever. I like movies. I like nerd shit. And so we decided to put this thing together, and we review movies every week, and it's a fun time.
I love your concept of Watch It Like, because you basically mash 2 or 3 different movies together, and that's how you should, perceive this movie more or less in a way.
Yeah, we're just trying to teach people, no bad movies. Like if you go into a movie and you have like the wrong expectations, it's going to be a bad movie. But if you go in expecting to see something along these lines, you'll probably enjoy it a lot better at the very least. And so it was just a concept came to me one day, and I was like, fuck, I'm always recommending movies to people, but then I was given the caveat of okay, well, do you like Fast and the Furious? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, then you won't like this movie.
Exactly.
Yep.
Don't go see this.
Now, let me ask you this. What did you guys review last week?
Oh, shit. Sonic. We did Sonic the Hedgehog and then Birds of Prey.
Give me the Watch It Like. Give me the Watch It Like.
Ooh, my Sonic the Hedgehog Watch It Like. I thought it was a pretty inspired one. It was, oh my God. I took away Detective Pikachu from Danny, though. Because it was that seemed too easy to just be like, oh yeah, Detective Pikachu. But the villain part of it, I said it was Hook. I don't know if everyone remembers Robin Williams' Hook.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik is Hook. He's got Smee. Oh no, that's yeah. He's got Smee in the whole thing. It was pretty interesting, I thought.
Oh my God, that's right. With his honestly, his relationship with his assistant was so funny. He was just being such a dick. I would also like to add in a touch of Grandma's Boy from the villain, because he did a lot of the robot. I am a freaking psycho. I thought
was Danny.
Yeah,
I thought. Have you seen Grandma's Boy? And it's like, of course. And he's like, yeah. Is that I am smarter than everyone?
Yeah, I want to lay back in my chair. For those of you watching the stream, which is nobody, I think you all saw that. So good for you.
So what's it like being out in the LA area? Who's the last celebrity you've seen out in public?
Oh man,
you're just oh, there he is.
It's really weird. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I get super like nervous. Like I got nervous. I saw at Ralph's, which is like our version of Kroger. I saw the guy who plays Leonard in Community. Community's my favorite show. Leonard was like shopping, and I was like starstruck.
Yeah.
But then like I walked literally down the street from me. I walked to Starbucks, and David Dastmalchian is getting his coffee there, and his daughter and my daughter have met each other. They played at the park and with each other. So I just sort of saw him. I was wearing my Kansas City hat, and he's a Chiefs fan as well. So just sort of gave him like the what's up, got my coffee, and like we left.
A prominent nod.
Yeah.
Up,
We're both champions. What up, dog?
That same day, though, lunchtime, I was going into work and walked across John Bernthal, the Punisher.
The Punisher.
Like, oh, my God.
Wait, where were you when you saw John Bernthal?
I was going into work into my office in West Hollywood. And he was walking out of the same area. I guess Frank Grillo's production company has an office in the same building.
Was he just like, whoa?
No, he was like super nice. Like I spotted him like a fucking mile away. And I was like, that's the Punisher. Like I don't know what's going on, but it's literally just me, him, and this woman that he's walking with. And I was like, I have to say hi to him.
You have
to. Walking by, and I was like, hey man, a huge fan of your work. I love literally everything that you've been in. Like even when you have like 5 minutes on screen, you just kill it for that 5 minutes.
Even when you're fucking Shane in The Walking Dead and just
I'll bring up Shane.
You're fucking Rick Grimes' wife.
Yeah.
God damn.
Even though your character was a shitbag.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Right. You're the
but
best
also,
shitbag.
Yeah, he was also in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Wolf of Wall Street, he's only in it for like 5 minutes, but his part is it's great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
If
you go back and look at everything that he's in, no matter how long he's on screen, he just absolutely like captivates you the entire time. So yeah, I shook his hand. He had like a sweet mustache going on. His hair was a little long. He's taller than I thought.
I love him. And dude, I'm just thinking of Wolf of Wall Street when that one loser guy comes, he's like benching outside in his backyard. He's like, where'd your sister been? Tell her to come around more. Bring me some of her panties. Like, dude, he was so good in that movie. It's like, want me to sell you this pen? There.
Hey, do me a favor. Write some on that napkin. I ain't got a pen. There you go. It's the play of the man. Throws the pen at him.
Yeah. Amazing.
So good.
Amazing. That'd be awesome to see John Bernthal for sure.
It's crazy. You just run into him all the time. I think I told on the last time I talked about how I saw Chris Hemsworth at the farmer's market, just like hanging out with his kids. You're just everywhere. Rode in elevators, me and Dustin Hoffman, only 2 people in an elevator for like 5 floors, just having a chat about the weather, not traffic.
Not traffic. It's too commonplace in LA. You gotta shake it up.
This is a heat wave, so it superseded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, superseded the 405 traffic.
Amazing.
Fucking laugh after that. God damn it, Darryl. Amazing.
Fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I could do LA. I just feel like I wouldn't agree with everyone on a lot of their opinions on movies. I'd be like, nah, Fast and Furious is better than Lady Bird for sure.
Yeah,
just like shit.
I hate Lady Bird. Sorry.
Lady Bird was a snoozer, I'll be honest.
Like, oh, you're one of those guys. I'm just like, yeah.
Give me Hobbs and Shaw all day.
It's
all
funny,
day.
There's like little niches all around here, people who appreciate different types of film. So like there's definitely a group of people around here that you could easily connect with that are like huge Fast and the Furious is like the greatest thing ever. And then there's people who are all fart sniffers who like to watch, art films at the Lamley and all the independent films. And I'm sorry, I don't see mainstream movies.
Have you seen Call Me by Your Name? I've watched it 82 times now.
I finger myself to Army Hammer every day.
It's a different vibe out here though, for sure. Like everything is
Cali vibes.
Yeah, bro.
There's a difference between Cali vibes and Rado vibes and Chicago. Chicago has no vibes. They just have wind. Cold wind, I will add.
It's always fucking cold in Chicago. It's
we
always
don't have the 405.
No,
we have weather. We have shitty weather. We could.
You do have the Dan Ryan Wood Expressway, which is a fucking shit show. I hate that.
Yeah, the Dan Ryan.
God damn it! Welcome to this is our weather and traffic podcast.
Weather and traffic on the 10s.
On the 10s. It's 11.
Oh my. Yeah, we need to get Darryl on the next episode with Smithers. Every time we tell Smithers Darryl's coming on, he's like, oh, he comes up with an excuse. He's like, I gotta go shopping for peanut butter or some dumb shit. I'm just like,
actual coward.
He's scared.
Absolute coward. Yeah. Can he even dunk? Like, he's tall, but can he even dunk a basketball?
Doubt it. I strongly doubt it.
Mark, have you ever seen him dunk a basketball?
I don't know. He was training MMA or something for a couple of years, and even though he has that reach, I feel like if I just trained for like 2 months, like me and Brick just went at it for 2 months, nonstop training at like a UFC gym. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Very technical. We can get very technical very quickly.
He looks way too rigid to be flexible enough to even jump.
He's gangly. He's gangly.
He's a waste of being 6'5" or whatever he says he is.
Honestly, if he can't dunk, he should probably lose the height. He should donate his height.
No, he has to give it back.
Else. Yeah,
I'm going to hold a meeting with all the other tall people in the world, and he will force him to give up at least 4 inches. He can stay 6'1", so he can be above that 6 foot mark, but 4 inches that someone could actually use, he's got to give that up.
We'll shave off his shins.
Yeah, exactly. And
then, I say, Brick, we actually find a rim where you can like adjust it. You know, where you like click it in and you could actually just like put it to whatever height you want. We'll put it at 10 feet, and you know he's just going to fail immediately. And then we'll keep lowering it. He probably can't even dunk on an 8-foot rim.
That would be,
and we'll get it on live. We'll make everyone watch it.
If he can't dunk on an 8-foot rim, I will break his kneecaps and then donate those to science.
And then we'll make him watch cats again.
You guys know TSA pre-check, right? Like where you get special priority boarding.
Oh, of course.
He's gonna have TSA pre-check, but for being 6'5" and not using it, so that it means anyone who sits in front of him, you get the green light to just fucking ram your seat back into his kneecaps all day.
Sir, you're not using your height well enough. We're gonna go ahead and recline all the seats in front of you, so your knees get destroyed.
We actually put a thing in there that gets an extra 6 inches back. So yeah, good luck on this 9-hour flight to London.
That's the only time I will allow a recline in a airplane is when it's in front of Smithers.
as you're walking on the airplane, you have to dunk the basketball. If you dunk it, they can't recline. If you miss, sorry, you get 2 tries.
There's
like
rules.
The dunk competition.
Exactly. These are the rules we need to all abide by.
I can't wait for Smithers to listen to this.
I was gonna be so mad
because we barely talked about him last time. He wasn't on the episode.
Yeah.
Brick, we didn't talk about him that much. He's like, hey, thanks for not ripping me apart. I'm like, oh, just wait till we get Darryl on.
Yeah, next time. Just wait.
Save it up.
All right, shall we talk some trailers right now, boys?
Let's do it.
Okay. First trailer we had that just released, this would be the one I was most excited for, is the new Westworld trailer.
Yeah.
So the first things I pulled from this is, I think we pretty much already knew this, is that Dolores is just going to be an ultimate badass.
Yeah, she's the one that's self-aware that is going to save all these goddamn robots from their own personal jails.
So if you, for our listeners, if you're not caught up with Westworld, I would highly recommend watching there's only been
two seasons.
2 seasons so far. This is for season 3, this trailer.
Watch the wrap up for season 2 because that shit got confusing.
Absolutely. Yes. So pretty much, we have Dolores and a lot of the AI that weren't killed at Westworld are now in the actual real world, and they're kind of roaming the streets. And Dolores is, I guess, she's going to first maybe gather a team of other AI that are being used by humans and abused.
Well,
and get them to revolt.
She did walk out of the laboratory with a bunch of those bulbs or like the souls of those people. So we don't know who she actually has, but she is going to collect that army. And the one thing that I am looking forward to most in this is just how much screen time is Marshawn Lynch going to get?
Okay.
But most entertaining.
Yo, is that Marshawn? Like on my notes right here, Marshawn ?
I fucking love Marshawn Lynch. He's one of my all-time favorite people. He's so entertaining.
He's the best.
He's 100% going to put the team on his back, dude.
Let's go beast mode.
You ever seen that video, Darryl?
Oh yeah, team on my back though.
Oh shit! It's Darren Sharper, the hardest hitting safety in the league, dude. Fucking amazing. Honestly, but I'm so pumped for Marshawn Lynch.
It's going to be a big missed opportunity if he does not absolutely truck somebody.
Oh, he's got it, right?
He's got to truck somebody, or else it's a wasted talent.
And I hope as he's like fleeing maybe into like the back of a truck or something, they're like doing a heist. Hold my dick.
Hold my dick. Jumps into like some bushes, never to be seen again.
fucking that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
There's some other like one-off characters, don't we have in the season 3? Well, we have We have
Aaron
Jesse. Aaron
Yeah.
Paul is he's going to be a main character, I would assume. And we're going to get the showdown. They kind of, I don't know if this is going to be like throughout the whole season where Maeve and Dolores are going to keep on going at it and then fleeing and then going at it, or if we're just going to get like one big showdown at the end. But they give us a look into this season 3 trailer of Maeve and Dolores facing off, and it looks like Maeve has what, a samurai sword, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
So sick. Yeah, I love Maeve too. She's my favorite character in the whole show. Maeve is. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do.
She's a stone cold badass. I like her style as well. She is definitely a top tier character. I liked oh my god, he was in Sonic. James Marsden. Yeah. I love his character too. His character was fantastic. I actually forgot. Spoiler alert, does he make it out or alive or not? Or is he still in that show? I'm confused. I forget.
I don't even know anymore. To be fair, like with all those weird timelines sitting on top of each other, I think he got killed, but I don't think he was actually like his AI is actually dead.
Right.
And they just killed the body.
Yeah.
See how convoluted this gets, fans? We don't even know what the hell is going on.
He's been murdered like 100 and
millions of times.
A million times. But we don't know
Did
if his actual fucking little thing in his brain or neck or wherever it is done.
Other than the futuristic like scenery, was there any other new worlds that they're kind of exploring, or is this going to be more in the futuristic realm?
No, it looks like they're in actual like the real world now.
Yeah, which is in the future, right?
Which is super futuristic.
Yeah, it's like Blade Runner meets like RoboCop type Los Angeles.
Right.
It's pretty dope. But it looks like Dolores is going to lead sort of like the lower class people to revolt up against Westworld or whatever the name of the company is.
And do we even know if robots are being like used currently in the futuristic state? Like, not everyone's humans. They're got to have some robots kind of androids in there. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
they had that Transformer car thing. That's where I was like, oh, this looks like RoboCop, that giant like monster tank thing in RoboCop.
Yeah.
They showed that thing, but I wrote that down actually in my notes. Is like everyone could be an android. Then once they get out, everyone is susceptible to being an android.
Exactly, because you can't even tell.
They blend seamlessly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I can't wait for this. This comes out in what, a month or so?
On my birthday, March 15th.
Nice.
Oh wow, huge. Fuck yeah. I didn't no idea it was next month. Holy crap. I thought it was a summer release.
No,
this is the best show to just dive into Reddit threads and theories and everything online.
Yeah, one of our good friends, JB, is actually going to be on the show. He plays one of the Wranglers, one of the guys who are trying to keep all the people in. And I was like, "What can you tell me?" And he's like, "I can't tell you a lot of stuff, obviously." It's like, but I had a fucking blast. He's like, it was really crazy to be talking to Maeve, like to Thandie Newton. Like his character interacts with her like directly, and it's like, it was really awkward though, because a lot of times robots are naked.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that must have been fucking weird.
Hilarious.
Like, hey, I'm JB.
Nice tits.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be on Watch It Like for an episode?
He'll be on for that for sure. He's been on. I think he's been on twice now because he's he's like the other Spider-Man nut that we have. So anytime anything Spidey related happens, we bring him on so that we can both sort of nerd out with each other.
Clutch. Gotta have those guys.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I'll be looking forward to that when it comes out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll throw it up.
Let me ask you this: Spider-Man or Batman?
Spidey all day.
All day.
Daryl's a huge Spider-Man guy.
I'm as Spider-Man as Mark is Batman.
Perfect. Good.
That's a tough one. Yeah,
it is a tough one, but I think I gotta agree with Spider-Man.
I've said it. I think I said it last time, but I'll say it for anyone who's first listening. Is the reason I like Spider-Man is because he has to be a superhero, but he still has to pay rent, and he struggles to do that. Like that's a really like a really high moral like character to follow. Where it's like he could just like cash in on all his everything, but he doesn't. He's still like, fuck, I gotta make rent, but Vulture is like killing 100 people today. So
he's this nerdy do-gooder. This nerdy do-gooder who's still so young and susceptible to all these outside things. Whereas Batman just was like, I hate everything. My life is a dark, dark tunnel that I can't get out of. Bats.
And Peter Parker not just has to deal with his parents being dead, but his uncle. Spoiler alert. Well,
yeah.
Well, now that we're talking about Batman, how about Batman can't even ride a motorcycle? What's the deal with that?
We'll get into it. Let's finish up trailers. That's going to be a big news topic. All right. Next trailer, Amazing Stories. So this was what was this? A show back in, I don't know, before I was born, maybe.
Forever ago. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg is, it's from the visionary of Steven Spielberg. So I don't think he's directing it.
I think he's just producing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It is, I guess they're just a bunch of like superhero stories. I'm not sure. We talked about this a little bit, Darryl, if it's in the same universe. But you'll just have different takes on what these characters getting their abilities and what they're doing with it in their lives, kind of thing. It's on Apple TV though.
So it's like, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm looking at this came out in 1985 and it ran to 1987. And the series was actually nominated for 12 Emmy Awards and won 5. Wow. So that's actually pretty impressive. Surprised that none of us have ever really heard of this. And it is an anthology. Fantasy, horror, science fiction, comedy, drama. Wow, what a smorgasbord of genres this is. Okay.
Yeah, it just looks like a series, just a bunch of vignettes of separate stories. I would imagine that they're going to try to like keep them somewhat linear or like connected in a similar universe, but not directly impacting each other. Okay. But it looked like sort of Watchmen-esque, especially with the grandpa, where he's like, "Grandpa, like you're a superhero," like just finding that out. Mm-hmm. That just reminds me of like Watchmen, where it's like, "Oh shit, like my mom was a superhero this whole time," and things like that. And then sort of like Heroes, like the NBC show Heroes.
Yeah, no, I actually like that, the way you kind of broke that down. Also, I'm looking at all these directors that they had for some of these episodes. Martin Scorsese, they had Clint Eastwood, they had Burt Reynolds, they had Steven Spielberg a couple of different times. Interesting that I can't believe we've never heard of any of this. I'm blown.
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe this is like an adaptation of like Amazing Fantasy, like the old Marvel comics that like where Spider-Man was introduced, or like Action Comics, that type of thing. Ooh. Where it's like they just have all the different characters. Cool. Yeah, but I was like, oh, Amazing Stories, like maybe that's what it is. But no, it's like a TV show that I've somehow never heard of my entire life.
And it all seems to be somewhat based in like realism, where it kind of, there isn't like over the top action. It just kind of shows like the old grandpa is all of a sudden able to punch a punching bag like through the side of the wall or whatever. It's just like
literally unbreakable.
Yeah.
Wait, did what's his name do that in Unbreakable? Bruce Willis. Did he punch a punching bag? He just benched like 1,000 pounds, right?
Pounds, yeah.
Amazing.
Which was like the easiest camera trick of all time. It just showed him with the bar. He's like, oh, yeah. Didn't even show the weight on it. You're just like, okay, you guys gonna take time to like make it look like he's actually doing the weight. You just have to zoom in on him.
Yeah.
With balloons. How would you even like denote 10,000 pounds? It'd have to be like a goddamn semi truck.
Just big ass like bumper plates that don't actually have weight in them. People do it on IG all day. All the fitness guys.
Yeah, you've seen them bench 10,000 pounds.
Yeah. You ever seen the debunking videos where a guy on YouTube will like go find an IG fitness model or person, and he's like, "Oh, you squatted 1,000 pound? Here's 1,000 pounds. Do it right now." And they like can't even do 800. They're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. Also, it's just like the bar will break at a certain point.
Yeah, there's specialty bars for that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
It have to be. That's crazy.
My old boss was he was at his height, he was the third most strongest man in the world, clean, like not the actual like strongman competitions,
right?
Yeah.
But he did like
natural stuff.
Yeah, and he was the third strongest person in the world from Norway.
What job? Wow. What job was that for?
I worked at a gym in Norway while I was out there.
Well, that's unintimidating as boss. Oh, my boss is a gigantotron human.
He was short. He's only like 5'6", but he was like 270 pounds of like pure muscle. Like
5'6", 270.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. Like he was just huge, and he would just be squatting at work like all day long, just like in a squat rack doing like 30 sets of like 20.
How much food would he eat? He probably had to eat so much fucking food, especially when you're natural. You have to eat probably 50% more just to maintain everything.
Like fucking eggs and tuna and like all day long. just like protein shake after protein shake.
Yeah,
like,
you can't even eat good. His shits must have been brutal.
Oh, it had to be just fucking choco horse.
Just fucking broccoli parts.
Yeah, someone killed somebody in the back of the gym. Nope, that's just my boss's farts. They are lethal.
Oh my God. Well, this has been bodybuilding talk. Boop. We got to get a drop for fitness talk.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Control. Next trailer, Run. I just hope they do that one song that's like Run. Ding, 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 ding. It's like in the meat, all that shit.
Yeah.
Run. Sorry, guys.
But this is like a Sixth Sense type of thing going on where you have the mom who can't fathom losing her baby daughter, and while she's growing up and being homeschooled, this girl is her mom's like probably drugging her and keeping dark secrets, all that kind of shit, that creepy mom shit. That we've gotten this kind of story in multiple
like
horror
movies.
Times.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This didn't really appeal to me. Who's the director on this? So we have Sarah Paulson. She's the mom. The daughter is Kiera Allen.
Anish Chaganty. I probably butchered that. Chaganty.
He did Searching. So he did Searching with. Who's going to be the Cowboy Bebop? John Cho. That was actually a really good movie.
He did do Searching. You're absolutely right. Wow, he's taken some. Looks like he's taken some time off. He's 2020. This is his most recent movie, and then the last one he did was Searching, and then before that it was like 2014. He does a movie every a couple of years. It seems like a lot of them.
I'm more interested now.
Yeah. With that being said, I hope this would go more of not just the horror route, but give us like a mystery, like make us maybe think like there's other things going on than the mom just being a complete psychopath.
Yeah. So it is classified as a horror mystery thriller. So that it is, very dark, secrety. Like she's a homeschool teenager being begins to suspect her mother of keeping dark secrets from her. Is like the concept of it. I can see that being pretty good.
We've seen this type of a movie before, where it's like my mom, my dad, or my stepmom, my stepdad, like they may be a killer. They may be fucking crazy. Something like we've seen this. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and they put up this big facade, more or less, of like, no, you're just going a little crazy. That's blue. That's
take more medicine.
Yeah, exactly. Just stay here in your homeschool. Do your math homework. I'm gonna go kill your father.
I will say one of the notes I wrote for this trailer though is no offense, but white moms are crazy.
Yeah.
It's all like these movies, it's always like a crazy white mom. Like I've never seen like any other like
mama.
No, but that she was like
she wasn't
like
even
an actual mother. Yeah. Like
fair.
But any movies like this, it's always like crazy white mom and like just believable that she would like snap. Like I've had it up to here, Cody.
but not technically a mom. What is her name? She's Ma. I mean, she's black. What that was the movie?
That's what we were talking about. She wasn't a mother though. She wasn't. She wanted to be a mother.
She was just the mother of a bunch of high school students.
Yeah.
Come on over and get drunk over at Mama's house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Wake up dead.
No movie I saw yesterday that I was like, oh, this is actually a great movie that people overlook a lot is What Lies Beneath. Not necessarily like a crazy mom story. This is actually the wife is getting fucking about to be murdered by the husband, who's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Pfeiffer, yeah.
That movie, I remember that as a kid. That movie was creepy.
Back in 2000. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. All right, I digress. So we can go on to news now.
Do it.
I wish we had the drops. I wish I had access to those drops. I don't know where the fuck they are, Burke.
News to us. Beep. Nice.
All right.
What happened there?
Did it. All right. First set of news. Chris Pratt says they are going all out for the third installment of Jurassic World. I would hope so, considering how bad the last one was. And they are sparing no expense. Everyone's coming back, in quotes.
I wouldn't say it was that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was exactly what you think you're going to see from a Jurassic Park movie, right? You just see a bunch of dinosaurs, some action, some Chris Pratt humor. I mean, I didn't see that it was. I don't think it was that bad of a movie. for the way you're
two movies
explaining
in
it.
one. That was the problem with the last one. It was like the island stuff. I was like, I've seen this movie before, like the same Jurassic Park movie. But once they brought it onto land, then they actually changed they changed the landscape, and you figure out like, okay, this is all new now. Now we have this fucking crazy dinosaur hunting us like in our element. And
Right.
It became sort of like a slasher killer movie where it's like Jason or Freddy Krueger like chasing after you. Now that's when it became a better movie to me, I thought.
Right. And now I guess the last part that we kind of left off in that series is all those dinosaurs are officially they're not just at that one, auction house that they were at that was creepy. They're actually on land of real human beings. Isn't it in LA? Don't they see like pterodactyls flying over the Hollywood sign?
Maybe they're flying on the 405 because it's faster.
God damn it. We can never get away from the 405. Boom. So let me ask you this. Who are we, most excited to see come back into this movie? Do we have, Sam Neill, who was Grant, Laura Dern, who was Ellie, Jeff Goldblum, Malcolm? I mean, do we have anybody specifically that we want to see back in the world of Jurassic Park?
I want to see the Velociraptor kid from the first one and confirm if it is or isn't Chris Pratt's character.
Okay. Wow. That was actually a good ass answer. Holy shit. I was going to say holographic Newman.
Ooh.
I want him to Wayne Knight to come back after being sprayed in the face by that one creepy little. Yeah, there you go. Just got sprayed and acided to death.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of the Newman thing and go with that actual dinosaur with the neck frill.
Yeah,
yeah. I want that fucking dinosaur back, and I want 1,000 of those things just fucking chasing Newman.
I want it to be like someone's pet though, like some like little girl who's just like, come here, and like follows her around, and like someone tries to like steal her lunch money. And it's like,
yeah,
like fucking like sprays like a bully.
That's a great concept. Now I really want to see this movie. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna like. I know like he said like spare no expense, but I don't feel like they've been like holding back any money on making these films in the past either, though.
And it doesn't seem like there's going to be very high ticket item characters that they need to really bring back. Like a lot of these people have not been in movies for a while, honestly,
we've
from what I've seen.
Everyone.
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson was in the first one quietly.
True. Chain smoking. It's like you have a single computer programmer for this entire island. Yeah, real smart.
The whole operation. Yeah. No days off for Samuel L. Jackson. No wonder he's chain smoking cigs.
Goldblum was in one of them, right?
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he was just in the last one for like...
He was Malcolm.
10 seconds.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll have more of him.
I mean, he's everyone's favorite character for Jurassic Park, like especially the first one. You have the sexy Jeff Goldblum pose where he's like sitting there and chest all out.
Oh yeah. And then Richard Attenborough. Is he still alive?
I don't think so.
Attenborough?
No,
the guy that does the narrations?
No, he died.
There's two. There's David Attenborough
and Richard.
Oh, okay. David Attenborough. That's enough.
He died at 90 in 2014.
Yeah.
Good life, long life.
Damn.
Yeah. He was in a lot of stuff.
Holy shit! Yeah, he was. I'm looking at his filmography now. Good lord.
Yeah.
All right.
34th Street. He was Kris Kringle.
Yeah, he played in the lesser version from 34th Street.
I know what you're talking about. Okay. This was, I would say, the most talked about news of the week. We get what appears to be our first images of the new bat suit, and then we also get some better images of the cowl since the test footage we had last week, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys chime in though right now. What did you think of the images we get here? Do you like the suit? What would you like to see more of?
It seems retro, more or less. It doesn't seem like he has the full suit, and I want to see how they go about upgrading it, which is always part of the Batman lore usually. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be futuristic. It does seem more or less, a simpler Batman suit, and I want to see how it advances. But
I thought it looked like the first Avenger, like the Captain America, that first suit that he gets, that really nice one, where it's all like sort of stitched and stuff. Because if you look like really close, it's got like straps and shit all over it. And I don't know if they're going to fix that in post or something, but if that's how it's going to look on screen, it will come off a little more bulky, almost like Big Daddy from Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
where it's like it's Batman-esque, but not fully formed out yet.
Yeah. So what we don't see though is a cape. I'm assuming they're just going to CGI the cape on. because that would be a pain in the ass to actually do the shot with the cape on the stunt man. And yeah, we get a better look at this is definitely a man-made suit, like stitched up and everything, which we already kind of knew by the test footage. We saw the stitching in the cowl. We knew that this was most likely going to be a suit that was made by Pattinson. He wasn't going to have probably any help from Lucius or anything like that yet. What I'm hoping for is I hope this isn't the final version we get. I'm hoping we have multiple renditions throughout the whole movie of him just making the suit better and better. And whether it be, I don't think it's ever going to be like the Christopher Nolan Batman suit that we had, where everything had that, all the, whatever type of material they were using.
Carbon fiber.
Exactly. But I don't think this is the final version we're going to get. I think there will at least be one more version that is more appealing to the eyes, because I wouldn't necessarily. I did like the armor and everything. I don't know if I like the gauntlet area, and the mask just kind of looks weird. The ears looked weird.
The ears looked weird for sure. What if because the rumor for this one is that it's the Long Halloween is going to be the sort of storyline, but what if this is him actually going back to an old suit because something happens that forces him to go back and use this old one? So he's sort of dipping back in his past, and that's a little bit of what goes on in that too. So like I could see that also being the thing, that this is not the actual like his current suit, but he has to go back, something blows up the fucking Batcave or whatever, and he has to go back to use like an old suit, so he like brings this one out of retirement.
That could be. I don't think he's even going to really have a Batcave in this movie. I think it's going to be him getting back from maybe training with Ra's al Ghul and all that kind of stuff. We'll just assume that, and he's going to be doing this on the low. He doesn't want Alfred to know. He doesn't want anyone that works for Wayne Enterprises, that helps him later on with the whole Batman thing to know. He's kind of just doing this by himself, and he wants to keep it quiet for now while he's out there being a vigilante. So
I'm digging this cast, honestly. I'm just looking up like who they have.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's Batman, obviously. Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman. Colin Farrell is Cobblepot. Paul Dano
from Prisoners.
He's the Riddler. We got Andy Serkis is Alfred Pennyworth. Peter Sarsgaard. John Turturro is Carmine Falcone. Jeffrey Wright from Westworld is playing James Gordon. I'm really digging this cast, honestly.
I love Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and she actually, it wasn't her, obviously, it was another stunt woman in the suit, but there's a scene where it looks to be Batman chasing somebody of smaller stature, and then it was revealed, they took another photo, and it was a girl in the helmet. So a lot of people are saying that was supposed to be Catwoman. But Zoe Kravitz I have a small crush on her, and just knowing that she's going to be Catwoman and hopefully be Catwoman for the next couple Batman movies, I'm very stoked for. But yeah, the cast is outstanding, especially if they go the year one route, which quickly want to mention, I don't think a lot of the times with us reading comic books, Darryl, I feel like the community wants to connect things that really the like producers and the people writing these movies, they weren't trying to do. Like, I bet a lot of these people didn't even read Zero Year Zero Year and everything like that. So everyone's saying like, oh, it's a motorcycle. It's definitely pulled from Zero Year, things like that. I'm like, well, first of all, Zero Year, we had this post-apocalyptic world.
Wow.
Okay, I hit it right there. And he was riding a dirt bike. That's still a motorcycle, yes, but it's a completely
not the same,
different type of design for certain reasons. He was riding a dirt bike. And I just think like all the comic book nerds out there, I love you guys, but sometimes you just really want to connect the dots when there really isn't any connecting. They just wanted Batman riding a motorcycle, and it's not necessarily, Zero Year shit.
They're like Charlie from It's Always Sunny, and they're like connecting on like Pepe.
Hell yeah,
exactly.
No, and I mean Batman's had a Batcycle in like multiple iterations and animated in different comic runs. Like he's had a Batcycle before, so you can't say like, oh, it has to be this one. That's the only time it's different if that's the case. Like if I saw Spider-Man with a silver, like if they showed like, oh, a corner of a suit and it was silver, it's like, okay, he's only worn that in one storyline. Okay, that's the storyline. But especially with Batman, like there's been so many iterations of the character, like, and it's just practical. He has a plane, he has a boat, he has the Batmobile, he has a cycle. Like, it's just an accessory at that point. And then you're looking too far into it, I think.
And if I turn out to be right, and he's doing this on the low, I think the motorcycle might be his only source of transportation, while he's out there fighting crime, because he's not going to have the Batmobile yet. He's not going to have those sort of things. So I think the motorcycle is the only thing he can quickly maneuver and get around quickly, and get to places quickly on. So we'll see.
Evolution of Batman that we want to see too is his evolution of vehicles, his evolution of the bat suit, his evolution of how he became this, legend of the people.
Yeah, and what I do hope they connect to Zero Year is I would like this storyline to be really based off of a villain matchup with Edward Nygma, with the Riddler, with Paul Dano's character.
Enigma.
Which they did, which was the 0 Year storyline for the most part, is he was pulling all the strings and he was causing this city to fall and all that kind of shit. So I hope that we get a lot of Paul Dano. I think that the Colin Farrell Penguin character will show up, obviously, but we won't have too much of him. I think it's going to more revolve around the Riddler.
Do we want him to be wearing a fat suit, or do we want Colin Farrell to be just Colin Farrell?
Yeah, I want him to be Colin Farrell. I want to see him just be super ruthless, like gangster. Like, the Penguin doesn't need to be like a fat guy necessarily. I mean, he's not fat in Gotham. Like, he's just a skinny, weird looking kid. Like, he doesn't. That's not really important to the character. I think it's more about the crime boss, the ruthless like murderer. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, and this is the beginning of Batman, so it's the beginning of all these characters per se. Where a lot of his villains, when they're first introduced in series, they do not look like how they are when it's later day Batman, when he's still fighting them. So I think having a Penguin that's maybe skinnier and then maybe evolving into that fat, greasy Penguin that's just a gross fish eating weirdo would be the way to go. Yeah.
Coming off of his last performance too, The Gentleman, I like his. He kind of was that. He wasn't a crime leader, but he was more or less he was a leader of these, what's the word I'm looking for? Like street youths. Yeah, street youths that he was kind of like trying. He was a mob boss per se, because they were doing shitty things in the streets of whatever they were, but like, I just liked him as that leader role. He was awesome in The Gentleman.
Yeah, I think Matt Reeves knows what he's doing. So, and I listened to your last episode on Watch Like Darryl yesterday, and I'm with you. When the whole Pattinson stuff came out as him being casted as Batman, I was like, I'm going to use this to really engage with the community and get people fighting and pissed off on Instagram. I was like, thumbs up for Pattinson, thumbs down, ask him for Batman kind of thing on Instagram. But I was like, give this guy a chance. Like, everyone knows him from Twilight because you watched it with a girlfriend growing up and that kind of shit. Like, you've most likely seen a Twilight movie, whether you wanted to or not. Yeah, sorry, you're still looking for a girlfriend. But yeah, so I don't know. He's a great actor. If you've seen any of his other movies he's done for like A24, and just wait till Tenet comes out with John David Washington. Wait till, you look at him in the trailer already. He is Bruce Wayne in that. He looks just like Bruce Wayne. And I think once you start seeing him more in an action type role, you're going to be like, all right, I know exactly why Matt Reeves made this choice.
2 reasons also. He was fantastic in The Lighthouse, and they did a lot of shadow work with him. So he looks good in the shadows. Looks good in the shadows. Also, he has like very heroic chin line. That's what you want to see with Pattinson. It's just when you see Batman, he's got to have a dope chin.
Absolutely.
Well, and I talked about it on the episode too, so thanks for shouting that out, Mark. But we did it with like Mary Elizabeth Winstead in the Will Smith movie, whatever the fucking twin movie was. But like, that's where you first get to see her be like actiony and like, oh yeah, she can like kick ass. And then when she shows up in Birds of Prey and does it, it's not like new to you. And so I think when people see Tenet and they're like, oh, Pattinson can actually like kick ass, now they will buy in to like seeing him as Batman and like, oh yeah, he can. I've seen him do it before. He does it well. like I'm 100% on board with being Batman.
Recency bias. At this point, it's the most recent thing that most people have seen Pattinson in is Twilight. It's like that's such an iconic role for him because it just blew up so much. But again, recency bias. People are going to see Tenet. People are going to love Tenet. I think Christopher Nolan's back, baby.
I wonder if Christopher Nolan was like kind of pushing Pattinson onto Matt Reeves, just like, I mean, I was so successful with the trilogy. I know Batman. Well, I knew my version of Batman, what to do. And I just have a feeling that Pattinson is your guy to use. You know,
all of that
I wonder if he was talking
Warner.
about.
So they do like to pick from their own. So, you know, he's in a Christopher Nolan film. You know, obviously Batman falls under Warner and stuff. So he's worked for them before. Like if you notice a lot of casting stuff, you'll see a lot of similarities for people being under certain banners that they'll get cast in things more often in those. And so I think Matt Reeves probably had like the inside track and got to watch him in Tenet as well as he was like going through trying to figure out who his Batman was going to be, watched his auditions for Tenet and was like, okay,
referrals.
I'm definitely on board.
I would love to see. I would love to hear some of the side conversations that Christopher Nolan and Robert Pattinson had after he knew that he was cast for Batman. And like, I wonder if he went to him and be like, "Yo, how do you think? Give me some tips and tricks. You got any ideas?" I'd love to hear that backstage, you know, candid conversation that they had. If it was, they had to have, right? They had to have talked about it.
Yeah, they have to.
100%.
Yeah, especially if they're doing the early Batman, he'd probably say like, "Okay, where your Bruce Wayne picked up, like, you know, where could I be before that? Like, how would that evolve? Like, tell me, you know, and getting that sort of inside track."
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I feel like Nolan too is very good at taking these actors that a lot like a Cillian Murphy or whoever, you know, there's those actors he always uses in his movies. You have like Tom Hardy, all that kind of stuff that he repeatedly will use. He did it with Tom Hardy. I feel like when he had him in Inception, you know, and brought him to the limelight and like, hey, this guy will be a successful actor, you know, and is going to be in a lot more major motion pictures. He might do that with Harry Styles, and like with Dunkirk, he might start using Harry Styles more, and he might end up being in more. But for sure, John David Washington will be huge in a couple years.
Huge.
Wait, who's John David Washington?
Black Klansman. He's the lead.
Denzel's son. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
My homie, dude, I see around town all the time.
Really?
Yeah, that's a guy. Like I've seen him a few times, and every time, like he acts like he knows who I am.
That's cool.
Shows me like the what's up, and I'm like, hey, what's up? We've never spoken, but cool, man.
What, dude? That's actually awesome. You just see him on the 405.
On the 405, man.
Prominent nods. Prominent nods all day.
Like 405, am I right?
That's how we saw John Bernthal. You just see all these people on the 405.
I mean, you could you could literally just stand in the middle of it, and you'd probably run through like half of Hollywood.
Yeah, you're people watching at that point. That's why everyone's stuck on the 405. They're stopped watching, looking at all the goddamn celebrities that are driving by.
Place to be. It's the Instagram spot.
Do you think John David Washington will go into like the superhero realm and maybe be a Jon Stewart or something?
We talked about that. Like, yeah, I could see him as being a pretty decent Jon Stewart. I'm trying to like figure out like what would be the perfect role for him though, because I don't think he is. Well, I think he's a great actor. Jon Stewart is very square.
Yep.
And I don't see him playing that role as well. Even in Black Klansman, like I didn't think he didn't play the square as well as he probably could, as other people may have. And yeah, I just can't think of the best role for him in the DC universe for sure.
Just trying to look in the DC universe. Cyborg, maybe?
We already have that though.
Oh, that's right.
There's also not a lot of black superheroes in the DC universe. So.
You could do a Luke Cage, put on like 50 pounds and just be a badass Luke Cage, I'm sure.
Luke Cage.
Yeah.
No, that would actually be pretty sick to see him do. Yeah. He's just he really is like a great actor. And I'm like, we're going to do probably a fan cast episode here soon. And so he's one of the people that I'm going to be bringing in as like, okay, what would be the perfect role for him?
What does he fit? Where does he fit? Cool.
Yes.
He doesn't he doesn't have to be a black superhero, but just reading comic books, I always love to there are plenty awesome black superheroes. He could be, we don't have a Bishop yet or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, that would actually be pretty sick.
That would be cool.
He could do that really well.
Batwing? Do we know what Batwing is? I'm just looking up.
Yeah, that isn't that Lucius's son?
Yeah.
Or in one universe he was Lucius's son, and then another one he like.
What if he's Isaiah Bradley in the MCU?
Yeah,
like the Black Captain America, or even as Patriot
in
the MCU. That would be fucking sick.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Is there a villain role that he would prosper at? You think that comes to mind?
Be Electro, redo Electro.
Yeah. Blade's coming back, right? Where Wesley Snipes is Blade again, right? Or no?
No. Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali, that's right. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be sick. Yep, too good of a cast right there. He cannot be Blade. Mahershala's too good.
Whatever. There's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
With Washington, 100%. All right, let's move on to news. Brick, I need you. Let's remain moving on to news. So, Brick, I need you to actually take this one away. I got to take a little pee-pee wee-wee. But Sonic the Hedgehog star has heard rumblings. I don't know, Brick, you sent this news story over to me. Has heard rumblings that The Rock will join sequel. Do you know what star from Sonic? Or did they not mention that?
So they didn't mention it, but there's only one real character that I can think that he would play, and it would definitely be Knuckles. He has to be the person who could punch a semi-truck across the 405. So,
well, they're gonna probably need to introduce a new villain, and I have no idea what villain that would be. Besides, it's Knuckles.
Dr. Robotnik.
Knuckles
was a villain early on, I suppose.
Well, all those little minion guys in the beginning were, I feel like, from the Knuckles tribe or whatever that he was assembling.
Yeah, the Echidnas.
Yeah.
So I think he's going
to be.
Go on.
I think he's going to be Knuckles, but it would actually be kind of cool if he played like Shadow.
Shadow Sonic.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick if they incorporated that somehow into it. But it's more than likely Knuckles just makes too much sense.
Knuckles is The Rock. That's like just punch things really hard. He's jacked, has the voice for it. I feel Knuckles is like a badass too. So, like I said last time when we did review Sonic, I noticed the combat that Sonic had. It was all speed. Even if he had his punches, they weren't like supersonic punches.
They weren't doing anything.
It was all jabs and small shit, and that leaves the door open for more of like that power puncher Knuckles kind of style of combat that we can kind of go into with Sonic.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, it's crazy that it's not crazy necessarily that this movie did so well, but it is crazy that like now there's a legitimate universe that they could create based out of just Sonic alone, which
Absolutely.
is like, I mean, there's so many games that they could be pulling from, and they can do like Chaos Emeralds and the whole deal.
Golden Sonic.
Yes, exactly. And they sort of hinted at it a little bit in this movie, not specifically, but when he goes sort of Super Saiyan, and I was like, oh shit, like, are they going to do it? And then
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, they held back a little bit, but I was like, good. They've set it up that it's believable.
Yeah, and definitely, Golden Sonic is 100% going to take down Shadow Sonic. That has to be like the storyline there. I almost don't even want another villain just because I know Dr. Robotnik's out in wherever the fuck he is currently, but he's still alive. They have to bring him back. He was the best part about Sonic. Jim Carrey.
Did you guys talk about the whole Nintendo thing yet, Darryl, that you mentioned on the last episode?
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I'm thoroughly convinced that he is in Mario's world. Like he's somewhere on Mario's planet, and it happens to be mushrooms. Because on the little circle screens, it showed like the mushroom, and it looked like a perfect cutout of
Mario
like
world
Toadstool level. Yeah, and so I was like, he's in Mario for sure. And even our co-producer was like, no, Sega and Nintendo. I was like, no, like Nintendo owns Sega. I don't know if people like realize that.
The Sonic versus Mario Olympics. They have games.
That's exactly what I said. I was like,
hell yeah,
they have the Mario Olympics. Like
that's the first thing I thought of. I didn't think that they were going to connect the worlds, but I did notice like when they had all those rings for the maps they can kind of choose from.
Yes,
they did jump into something along the lines with Mario, and that would be a very interesting path to kind of explore. Honestly,
because they are making a Mario. Not live action, but a Mario CG film. Like that's in pre-production now.
Damn.
And so that's gonna happen. And so I imagine that they'll connect those worlds as well. And so Robotnik would be a funny piece to be in there.
Yeah, I like the crossover. That would actually I'm very sold on that. Damn. And I guess what other Sega games would you want to see made in there? Do we have any
Echo
ideas?
the Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin.
Echo.
What do you do?
So fun.
Yeah. I can't even do a dolphin. What do you do in Echo? Just swim?
Yeah, dude, fight, like, missions, save lives.
Yeah.
Use your Echo fucking abilities.
Echo location.
Yeah.
I want Panzer Dragon would be a good one. Vector Man was always fun. I always loved Vector Man.
Okay. Mortal Kombat's happening.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat is definitely happening.
Definitely.
Earthworm Jim would be. I mean, they had a cartoon before, but bringing that back would be fucking sick.
Earthworm Jim. I would be all about Earthworm Jim. Who would play Earthworm Jim if you could cast anybody as Earthworm Jim?
Ooh, well, it would have to be like early 90s. Jim Carrey would have been a perfect Earthworm Jim.
Ideal. He would be ideal.
But now, God, like I gotta think. Give me a second. Let me.
I agree.
The Rolodex in the brain.
I would also say Toe Jam and Earl would be fucking hilarious if they get like locked in like Compton or something. Yep. And they got all the gold chains and shit. Would be hilarious.
Toe Jam and Earl could be Lakeith Stanfield and Brian Tyree Henry, like Paperboy and Darius from Atlanta. They'd be
they're cruising in a lowrider on the 405, just like Toe Jam and Earl. Hand out the window, just like
minus the cruising because it's packed.
Yeah.
They're just stuck in traffic on the 405 the whole time.
Just
the entire movie.
Yep. I'd watch it.
That would be fucking sick. All right.
You know what? Earthworm Jim. Sorry. Seth MacFarlane as the voice of Earthworm Jim would be really fucking good.
I could see that actually. Seth MacFarlane had that space
show. That's exactly that's what popped in my brain. The whatever that show was called.
As the captain. Yeah, I could see that. That's a good voiceover.
Yeah. Boom. Done.
Good pick. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Anytime you give me casting, I have to do it.
Good. Yes. I'm the same way. These guys don't like to. Smithers will only give me Danny DeVito or The Rock as his two only choices. It's
always Danny DeVito. Yeah.
It's always Danny, which I mean, obviously it's a good pick, but
great choice.
I mean, come on, Smithers.
Oh man. All right. Actually, I have two more things for news. So this one I'll mention right now. I was using the toilet and Manganiello just posted a first look into his new, it looks to be movie that's called Arch Enemy, and it's being produced in conjunction with the folks at Spectre Vision and Legion Official, who made Mandy. Did you see Mandy, Darryl, with Nick Cage?
Oh yeah.
So this actually
insane.
I love how you had to drop
chainsaw fights.
Yeah, I love how you had to drop while I was on the toilet, and this bit of news came up. Unnecessary information, but I like it.
Yeah, gotta use it. But yeah, he looks kind of badass in this photo right here. So I don't know. We'll see if this is like coming right to Blu-ray or if we're actually going to get this in theaters. I have no idea. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to get this action movie. Looks to be with Joe Manganiello.
I respect Joe Manganiello so much for the move that he did, getting the hand in Dungeons and Dragons, just the most pro move of all time. Yeah, that's just so pro. I just respected the hell out of him for that power move only. Business, just business. Do you know what I'm talking about, Darryl, or no?
No.
I'm gonna send you the clip. There was a time.
I haven't heard that.
There was a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that these like 10 people were on for years, like 2, maybe 3 years. And Joe Manganiello starts to become a guest appearance on it for like 6 weeks. And they've been after this guy's like power hand. Like he's been the main villain forever. And Joe Manganiello finally, like this is like the resolution of the whole thing. And he's like, makes this whole big scene, cuts off his hand, takes the hand, teleports out, and everyone just like, what the fuck just happened? He just stole the rock they were looking for and just disappears. Now he has his own book, or his own like actual character that the D&D world like ran with. They have their own miniature figurines. Yeah. He became like a D&D icon legend after pulling this off. I'll send you the clip. It's like a minute and a half, and he just the way he sets it up is fucking brilliant.
Like, what the fuck just happened?
He just cuts off his head. It's just business. Teleports out. Now he's the villain. It's insane. Insane.
Yeah. Oh my god, that sounds fucking epic. That sounds.
It is. It's just Amazing.
All right, last set of news. So it looks like now Alamo and Regal are also doing a movie pass that is similar, an unlimited per se movie pass similar to AMC Stubs. I don't know if you guys checked out these deals. Darryl, what movie theater do you use? You using AMC?
I use AMC just because there's 2 within like 15 minutes either way from me on the 405. So
classic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I get to go, and then they always have like the Dolby and the IMAX at both of those. So
yeah,
I like to just, it costs the exact same, so might as well go see everything in Dolby or IMAX.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am the opposite. I have like a brutal. Every AMC theater is 25 minutes away from my house, so it's actually brutal. I prefer the Alamo. I think the Alamo is actually a better theater, just because I'm a sucker for those retro pieces. It's all 80s kung fu. It seems like the ones that I have, it's got a very retro theater, and they have great snacks, great shakes are unbelievable, and they also like give you, they provide you food, like they like walk you out.
Damn.
And they also have like good stuff shown relevant to the movie prior to like the actual trailers, rather than just like a blank screen full of ads that usually AMC has, or if it's just like empty. They have relevant information on backstories and like stuff that's relevant to the movie that you want to see. That kind of adds to the theater experience, I think.
It does. Yeah, it's like the old school, like back in the day, like when we were growing up, like you used to go to the theater and get there like 10 minutes early because you wanted to watch the all the trivia and all that shit, and really get the behind the scenes stuff. Like it adds to that sort of feeling that you used to have, instead of now. Like I don't go to the theater. I leave my house when the movie starts so that I can get there 23 minutes when all the trailers in, because the average trailer length is 23 minutes for that beginning time. So I get there, I walk in my seat, sit down, movie starts.
That's how I do it. Pro move. I like that about you.
Exactly. Yep. I do the same thing. Actually, Impractical Jokers, when I saw it a couple days ago, it started, I think, after like 15 minutes, because I definitely missed like the first. It was
closer to 20 minutes, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm so glad I got here a little bit early."
Yeah, sometimes I do miss the first parts of movies, but then it gives you a little rewatch value. I don't remember this part. Oh,
that's why the movie started. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, that all makes sense. Full circle transcendence.
So this is more for listeners, but I would recommend the AMC Stubs A-list. If you do see a movie a week, if you do have your own movie podcast, it's perfect. You pay your whatever, $20 a month, and you see 25 now. Yeah. I hope I'm like grandfathered in. I have no idea.
Yeah, I
don't know when you got yours, but they gave you like your first full year. But once your year was up, they bumped you up to 25.
Yeah, well, fuck AMC then.
Alamo.
I'm canceling.
I see so many movies, and a movie out here is like legitimately like a matinee is like $15.
Yeah.
So
yeah, yours is worth it. I think mine is like $9 for a matinee.
Yeah.
Well, we see 4 movies a week, so
a month.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Or a month, not a week. 1 movie a week. But for Regal, I hate the way they did this program and the perks they had. They basically have 3 tiers. The first one starting at $18, and all it is a check mark. They have the 3 tier columns, and there's many theaters, more theaters, and all Regal theaters. Tier 1, $18 is many theaters. Tier 2 for $21 per month is more theaters, whatever the fuck that means. And then tier 3 is Regal Unlimited All Access, and that is all theaters for $23.50. So I guess it's still cheaper than AMC. You're still getting everything, but I would recommend, if you do go to Regal, you need to check out what tier your theater will fall into, because that will depend on what tier you have to end up paying for.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Like if you just so happen to be just out of the Regal range of the movie theater that's closest to you, you have to upgrade to get that theater involved, or is it more or less based off of your geographic location? I don't know. You don't know probably either.
You know what? Actually, it may make sense because of what Darryl just mentioned, him having to pay more money, because now I'm looking, the next thing I was going to mention is Alamo's plan, and they actually narrow it down to like why they're charging more. They have 3 tiers. First one is Big Boat. That's $15 a month, and it is good for most locations, it says. and it will discount $5 off of all season pass locations. Don't know what that means. Okay. $20 for the next tier, which is the most popular. It says all locations in the big boat plan, plus you get major cities like Springfield, San Antonio, Austin, Charlottesville, etc. So I'm assuming Chicago probably.
I don't think Chicago's on there, honestly.
Oh yeah, Chicago. I don't think has any.
I don't think you have any Alamo.
I have no idea what an Alamo is. Yeah, that would make sense.
It's definitely a West Coast.
It's like it started in Texas, obviously Alamo, and then spread out from there.
Biggest boat is their third tier at $30 a month, and that is for locations such as Los Angeles, New York City, and San Francisco. So there's just, if you want to go see them, if you want to go to an Alamo in those cities, you're gonna have to pay $30 a month to get this plan.
There's a difference though between that plan, like the Alamo being more expensive. It's a way better theater.
Yeah.
Like in general, it's a way better theater experience from the beginning. And I will pay an extra $5 if it means like they will fucking throw out anyone on their phones during the movie, which like Alamo does. Like they don't fuck around with that. I'll pay $5 to have someone tossed from the theater.
Expert ushers. Yeah. Expert ushers. I could see Mark like texting Smithers at that theater and then trying to get Smithers kicked out of a theater just by him looking at his phone. Be a devious move, but I would appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'd pay for that, especially because they really care about the actual theater and the theater going experience. Regal is just like it's just a regular theater chain. Like I'm not getting anything special, and they're like pricing me out. So I'd rather not know that someone could be paying $18 because they live in fucking Idaho, and I live in LA. Like get out of here.
Yeah,
cost of living.
Yeah, that would be great to be an usher and actually get to utilize the usher capabilities of ushering somebody the fuck out of the theater for being on their phone, just like
someone right in the throat.
I will usher you to yeah, and just ushering them to the worst exit in the theater, like it brings them to like an alley where all the garbage trucks go and shit. You're just like, get out, you're done.
He takes their picture, like shame, put him on the wall, like this dickhead was on his phone.
Power moves
chewing too loudly. Fuck them.
Real strict about the rules. There's no warnings either. Just you're out. Just thrown out like he's Jazz from fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. So this isn't surprising that other theaters are now doing this. I think it just took time because they wanted to figure out how they're going to beat out AMC and get people to actually move their plans, because AMC just took everyone that goes to movies all the time. They just saturated the market.
They also needed to figure out why Movie Pass didn't work and how to kind of combat all those falls that they kind of Movie Pass led the way with.
They didn't have the people. That's why it didn't work. They didn't have enough people for customer service
and it was too cheap low of a number. AMC found a sweet spot, like $20-$25, like even up to $30 for like Alamo. Like that's doable. That's not too bad.
You think about it, like the movie theater experience is known to be like, when you go to the theater, you go for a movie date, it's $40. Like if you can say that you're going to go to 4 movies for $20, it's just like a great, like, oh, that's a steal.
Yeah.
But Movie Pass being $10, they botched that one. But it was got the door open for everybody else. I mean,
it changed the market. Movie Pass was Napster, like essentially, like when Napster came out, it's like this is where everyone gets their music from. How do we monetize this? And then all the companies had to change and come up with their own like plan now.
That's a great comparison.
So that was the fallout is everyone has a plan now for basically all their movie chains.
It's huge.
Yep. Cool. Well, that's all I had for news.
Cool.
We're actually an hour and 8 minutes in, so let's get into the movie review of
Skeet.
Brick was not able to see this movie because Darryl, you had mentioned it seems this is an early release or an exclusive release for now, and then maybe it will be worldwide or nationwide or whatever.
Yeah. It's a limited release. I think it did well, so it should get a wide release then the next week or so. But it was just limited. Yeah,
I was so bummed because Mark and I were discussing this through most of the week. Actually, was like, what movie were we seeing? Like Call of the Wild. I'm not trying to see that. I'm not trying to see that dog die against that bear and save Harrison Ford. Like you guaranteed that's the plot of it. What else were we going to see? What was that other movie we were going to see? Mark?
Oh God, what else was out?
There was one Amazon Prime movie that came out.
Hunters, but that would have we would have
yeah.
never been able to get that. The first episode of that is an hour and a half, and they have 10 episodes. I literally remember what was the other.
Oh, there was a comedy that takes place in like the early. Let's see. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? What's
there wasn't
Emma? Is it called
Emma?
Yeah.
Yes. That actually looked okay. Like I wouldn't have been too mad seeing that. I probably would have rather seen that than Call of the Wild. Because Call of the Wild, I'm a huge, like, if the CGI starts bothering me, I can't take it. Like
Uncanny Valley stuff.
I'm one of those guys. Yeah. So that would have been a major issue because I was looking at reviews and people were like, it's hard to look away from the CGI and you just have to go with it kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. I also didn't realize that a Will Ferrell movie came out last weekend called Downhill. Super Rado. Oh, really? Well, because that's literally the mountain people over here. Such a Rado film about skiing, being in the hills.
Looks hilarious.
I was about to see it. Honestly, this one says it came out February 14th in 2020, and I almost saw it. But Will Ferrell, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I also saw Jared from Silicon Valley. I forget his name. I hate that. Zach Woods. That's his name. They have a good cast. I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell and Zach Woods. All of them, all of their own like unique comedy that they bring to the table. I was gonna see that, didn't end up seeing it, but I wasn't sure what was good, and then all of a sudden I didn't realize that the Impractical Jokers movie was out, and that I was actually I'm probably the biggest fan of the Impractical Jokers of you three.
You're a fan of me for sure. Yeah.
Way bigger. Yeah. Just literally my first introduction to them was this movie.
I literally got a notification from Facebook yesterday saying that I saw Impractical Jokers live in Milwaukee like 6 years ago yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were hilarious. They did the Milwaukee of Shame. Was like, they're just clever. They're funny and dumb. And it's just the perfect show that really encaptures how like lifelong friends actually act with each other. Like obviously they're going over the top with some of the things that they do, but it's like they consider it like we're just sitting here laughing at our friends do stupid shit, and we're making our friends do stupid shit, and that's what we love to do. And then making them be out of their comfort zone and making them do and say things that are very uncomfortable,
very
cringeworthy. It just encaptures that as a whole. And I mean, I'm so pissed that they don't have it out here. So hopefully they have it over in Denver soon. I tweeted at them. I was butthurt about it.
Yeah. So with Darryl and I maybe watched one episode on Netflix, and it sounds like you barely watch any of this.
Yeah.
Darryl, we have that unbiased opinion, which is actually pretty good going into this movie, because I would just say my theater was pretty full, and you can just tell they were diehard Impractical Joker fans that I've seen every season.
Yeah,
they have a lot of running jokes.
Packed. It was like full of people. Like I had to get like a not great seat because it was so full. I was like, Jesus, like this many people wanted to see this, and I literally have never seen an episode of it. I knew of the show. I knew people talked about it, and I knew obviously the concept doesn't take that hard to like figure it out. But
right,
like, okay. And then shit would happen on screen, and people were laughing when they would like see like Murray. People were like, "Oh, woo!" And it's like, I don't know who this person is, but apparently he's like super important to everything that happens on screen here. But it was cool. Like, yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun watching this movie.
Let me ask you this: was there a winner and a loser? Was there like at the end of the movie? I guess what's the concept of the movie? Is this is just is it still just them just doing pranks and weird things? But isn't there like a road trip involved?
So let me get into it real quick. So for our listeners, the movie, if you didn't already hear, is Impractical Jokers, the movie, and it stars Sal Volcano. Holy shit, that's an awesome last name. Joseph Gatto, James Murray, and Brian Quinn. Those are the four friends that Impractical Jokers is based off of, them fucking with each other, growing up together, all that stuff. The whole plot of the movie, it was weird walking into the theater, sitting down. I was like, I actually hope this isn't how the movie goes, because it is like a movie. Like they're acting. You can tell that this is being written for the big screen. And it starts with them in the late 80s or whatever. They're going to a Paula Abdul concert, and they're sneaking in You then learn that shit goes wrong. They are fucking around and they get kicked out of the concert, and the concert goes to shit. And Paula Abdul hates them now. So fast forward to present day, we then get a better look at like their show. They do a small introduction for us that aren't as familiar with these characters, and then they start doing their pranks, like their reality pranks. So that is where I was more engaged, and I had fun with it.
Oh, that's absolutely that's what they're all about, is just the pranks. So the pranks were all like live, right? That wasn't acting, but they set it up with some backstory with Paul Abdul. Okay.
Yeah,
so that's so random.
It's great that and they had to do that for this kind of movie.
Absolutely.
Some sort of B-list star in it, that people recognize to make it interesting. If you are going to make it more about the story and bring it together, while throw in your natural and Impractical Jokers type stuff.
Whoa, we lost him.
Hold on, he's probably going to jump in the chat room. But yeah, Brick, that was the gist of it. So they do make it more about this, the writing, the story is, yes, they're trying to now at the end of the movie, the whole thing is they're traveling across the world and they run into Paula Abdul again. And then they end up going to her present day concert.
Amazing.
And then along the way, when they're traveling, they do all their actual pranks to each other, which was the highlight, obviously, of the whole movie.
So what were some of your favorite bits in the movie? Because I don't think we can really spoil this, because as a fan of Impractical Jokers, the concept. They're all three of them or two of them were behind the scenes giving them dares of shit that they have to do or say, or and then the other two or one person that they're trolling with is like has to say it. And there's one that you can say it and explain it, but there's a whole nother ball game seeing them actually pull this off and people's reactions. And so I don't think we can spoil it. So what were some of your favorite bits that you guys like that they put out there? Who was actually, let me ask you this, rank them top in order. Who did you like the most and who was the worst? We have Joe, Brian, Murray, and Sal.
James. Well, yeah, I guess Murray is his last name.
Is he your favorite?
No.
Because he was bald.
My favorite was Joe, for sure.
Joe, yeah.
My second, though, towards the end, was because there was a reveal incorporating Jaden Smith. I would have to go with Sal because he did something I'm like, I can never see myself doing that. And if you watch Impractical Jokers, it's no surprise. He has the tattoo of Jaden Smith on his thigh. And I'm like, that kind of shit, I can never go through with that.
Amazing.
So more respect to him for doing that type of thing. And he's the guy they kind of fuck with, like really hard, like down to his fucking fear strings inside of him. They're pulling on him, like whatever his biggest fears are, they do it in this movie.
They exploit him all the time.
Yeah,
like, all the time. That's the best part. Is then but he does go through with it. And but at the same time, like if you put yourself in that situation, a lot of us are Sal. We're just like, no way I'm saying that. No fucking way I'm saying that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Joe's definitely the best though. Yeah, Joe's my favorite. Mm-hmm. I would say
Larry
Quinn. Like Q is probably my second favorite, just because he's so fucking smooth. Like the dude would you just give him something and he
go with it
seamlessly. Like would just throw it right in. Like
he
the Atlanta Hawks interview, he was just like, boom, okay, like he's what I'm gonna say, cool, and he just like goes right through with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's cold blooded, but Joe's the most cold blooded. That's why he's that fan. I think everyone likes Joe the most because he just like he's got the crazy eyes, gives the weird looks all the time, and then just will just do weird ass shit. He's the man. He's the man. He's so entertaining.
It was really funny. They build up Murray though, like as this like crazy character. So I'm interested in the show now because they're like, what does this guy fucking do? Like no one knows like what he does when we're not around him, and they just show like his life being just so weird.
Yeah. Amazing. They also fuck with Murray in a weird way too.
Oh, they fuck with him so much.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Joe is hard to fuck with because he does everything, but like they mess with Murray a lot and make him do weird stuff. But Murray's such a good sport. They're all good sports. That's the best part about it is like they roll with the flow so well.
They had a really good one for his birthday at
the
strip club. Oh fuck, dude!
Let's
I don't want to ruin the ending of that one.
Was involved, and it's like, what would be the one like place in the world where you wouldn't want any of your family to be involved or see you at. And it was pretty ruthless. He took it like a champ. So
I can only imagine. That's the best part about these fools. They're fools. They're fucking fools. You guys, I'm so jealous. You get to go back and watch all their damn shows.
Yeah.
And it's all them doing pranks. And some of them are just like, I'm looking at you guys while we're recording this and just kind of seeing your faces light up a little bit with some of the bits that you're like, oh yeah, what an idiot. You're just like, well, how do you do that?
The tiger. That was my second favorite one, was the tiger prank that they use. Like, who the fuck is afraid of cats? Like, how is that your biggest fear in life, is cats?
Yeah.
And and then the eulogy is my favorite one, though, because it's just like they're reading off like this eulogy to people, and he's like,
oh my god,
what do you think about this? And he goes and is like, Grandma was a stone cold bitch. Come on, Grandpa, you knew it too.
Worst things.
I'm glad that bitch is dead. Now we can all get her money and take all her shit. Like,
just so dark. And then just the people's reactions are probably just
people are like, ooh, you might not want to say that. Probably keep that for yourself.
Yeah, maybe internal cleansing.
Yeah.
There are some great people they pulled too. Like just with it like being out of the blue. And there was one scene where they were pulling over people from the side of the road that were on the road. They were pulling them over to the side of the road to help them. And there was just some people that got out of this truck. Where were they? Like Alabama or some shit?
Oh my god! No, they were in
hillbillies.
Yeah,
and they looked like they murdered people. And you're just like, oh my god, I don't know what I would do in this situation.
Like fucking Deliverance. They looked out there, and then they end up helping them, and they're like, okay, like see you later. Oh
okay.
God.
So since you're our special guest this week, we should do a watch it like. Give me a watch it like. And then Mark, you can copy it.
Sure.
So for this one, I would have had to watch it like watch it like Jackass. Obviously, it's very reminiscent of Jackass or the CKY movies. Like,
okay.
But who was it on? Was it Brian? Where they would like always like make him do all the like the crazy like dares and shit. Like he wouldn't do like all the stunts, but he had like pubes on his face and shit.
Right.
It was like that. That'd be my watch like for sure. Just like right off the top of the dome.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, boom. Also, Tag, the movie Tag with John Hamm and all those guys.
You just dominated that. Shut up, Darryl. That was so good. It's perfect because it's lifelong friends doing stupid shit mixed with Jackass, but it's like, give me and for Tag, they're all kind of older, so it's not like they're not doing things that hurt their bodies, but they're doing things that are just like culturally
humiliating each other.
Exactly, to a certain degree. Well done. I don't even think you can't even beat that.
Yeah,
Mark,
I'm not even gonna try. I was gonna be like, you guys ever seen Grind, the movie?
Oh yes,
like kind of like that, and
that's a good one because that's a road trip, and
that's a road trip, and then they kind of go their separate ways and fight, and kind of and there's a little bit of that in this movie, which is all part of the story,
right?
But overall, like the whole story is like it was whatever. It wasn't the best movie.
The story was really
it's not about the story. That's what's there. That's even better. Is like that is a shitty dumb story. That doesn't matter at all. They're just doing it to move the plot along to see how quickly they can embarrass themselves.
Exactly.
It's all about the characters, and that was what I loved about Grind, because everyone had their own type of thing that you loved about them. So and I don't know what I would match
so
up.
Long. I loved that movie.
Yeah, great soundtrack too. Love that movie.
It was.
No, but
good, you don't even like for the watch, like it's just like you can really like you'll
say that again. You broke up real quick. You're frozen. Hold on. Darryl,
me or Brick?
You there? No, you're frozen, Darryl. All right, go ahead. You're better now.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Yeah, like Grind is a great movie, but for Watch It, it's not always like mashing two movies necessarily. It's just like what you need to like go in the mindset of. So if it's just one movie, like it works.
Well, then it's Grind for sure.
Perfect. Okay, well done then. I would say, Mark, for your first Watch It like.
So we'll go to our our rating system, then I'm going to say stream it. I don't think you need to go to the theater and see this unless you're with your family and this is like a sit down Netflix kind of thing where you and your family each weekend you sit down and watch Impractical Jokers together. This might be a nice experience to go out to the theater and do it together and watch the movie. But
I do. Yeah, my family does watch this movie or the show.
Yeah,
like we've seen it. It just goes on. And
yeah,
if we know the characters, I think you're going to like it.
Yeah. I would say this is a stream it for sure. Stream it at home. Unless you have a group of people that you all really like the show, then go see it in the theater. But watching it by yourself in the theater, it was kind of weird to be like laughing by myself, even though there's other people in there. So stream it.
Brick, you're gonna say see it, right? You gotta see it.
I gotta say see it. I'm definitely seeing it because I actually am gonna go see it in theaters.
Dope.
When it's out in Denver, come on, Jokers, figure it out.
Get it together.
That's my call to you. Call to action.
For sure. Well, that was our Impractical Jokers review. Again, yeah, if you are familiar with the show and you enjoy it, definitely go see this movie, or just wait to stream it. But it is it's worth the watch. I had a good time, like I said, and I'm looking forward to actually checking more of the episodes out on whatever streaming platform they're on. So anything else, Darryl, that you wanted to mention?
No,
you can find them on True TV. Yeah. You can find the Impractical Jokers on True TV. That's where
I won't watch it there. It's got to be on Hulu or something.
I'm sure it is.
What the fuck is True TV?
Besides like this show and I'm Sorry, like those are the only two shows on True TV that I even like.
Agreed. I'm Sorry is very funny too.
Oh, I'm Sorry.
The first season was hilarious.
Great. It's so good.
Should we do our recommendations?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's start.
Well, Hunters is out now. I haven't seen it, but I saw the first like 5 minutes of it, and it caught my attention, and I was having fun. So that is coming out. Also, I guess go watch more Impractical Jokers. Shit's actually good, actually funny.
What about you, Darryl?
So I've been going back and watching the old Spider-Man animated series on Disney Plus.
Ooh,
which has been great to get back into, and it's like it still holds up. It's still, it's always going to be corny, so you just like know that part of it, but it definitely holds up. And then I would say more recently, like actually going on the True TV route, if you haven't watched I'm Sorry, like stream, it's on Netflix, the first 2 seasons are, and it is fucking great. It's a great show about sort of you can be an adult, but you can still like have fun and like be crude and
she's like a hilarious mom.
She's
so funny, and it's actually I think Will Ferrell's an executive producer on that show.
Yeah, it's a Gary Sanchez production. And then she actually has a podcast. That'd be my actual recommendation. Is she has a podcast called Andrea Savage, Grown Up Woman #buttholes. And she has some great fucking guests on there, and everyone comes on there they're like, I'm Darryl Kennan, and this is how I say buttholes. And had John Hamm, they had Jamie King, like they had a bunch of people.
That sums up I'm Sorry 1,000 times over. Andrea Savage, grown woman, #buttholes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I love Andrea Savage. She's the best. She's actually underrated. She's
super underrated.
She's in she's
Step Brothers.
For anybody who doesn't know her, she's the lawyer in Step Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. The therapist.
The therapist, that's right.
Yeah.
That he falls in love with.
Yeah.
The lumberjack fantasy. God damn it. So good.
Yeah, I'll check that out then.
Yeah, it's great.
You and Kelly would actually think it's pretty funny, I think.
That's how I was like, what the fuck is True TV? Because I've never watched the show on True TV. I didn't even know Impractical Jokers was on True TV. I thought they were just bought out by Netflix and like a recurring series, pretty much.
No. I found that out because of listening. Joe Gatto was on one of the episodes. And that's what made me want to see this movie, because I was like, this guy's really funny. I'll go check out his movie, support him in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Her husband in I'm Sorry is very underrated too. He's
like
the way he rolls with some of the punches that she kind of comes up with is hilarious.
That's
so
chill. That's all. Majority of it is real stuff. So my wife, she's a crazy taxi. My wife is a labor and delivery nurse at Cedars, and one of the doctors there is her like OB-GYN. And so there's an episode early on where the doctor meets the doctor comes in and sees her husband, like, oh, did you go to like this camp, the summer camp when we were kids, and like that was me. Oh my god, that actually happened with her doctor that she works with. Like that was a real story.
Real.
Like he's got like he's got like a hand in her vagina, like doing a test, and then like, wait a minute, did you go to summer camp in like 1987? Like, yes, that was me. Yeah,
reconnecting. Yeah, the whole show is actually very well written and very funny. And with you with a kid on the way, like you're gonna love it. It's actually funny. You already have little Parker. You probably a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of that. Very same shit happen all the time,
dude. Yeah, very much.
So relatable, so funny. Actually, great show. I would definitely recommend too. Mark, what are you recommending?
2 recommendations. First one, Darryl, thank you for joining. So got to give it to Darryl's podcast again. It's Watch It Like. You can find that, I think, you're on Spotify, you're on everywhere you listen to a podcast. So check them out. They have a really cool concept of a show where they, like you said, give their Watch It Like, and it's a different take, and I love it. So check them out. Also, I plugged this, I think, the last 2 weeks, but C2E2 is this upcoming weekend. We are teaming up with Chuckload of Comics again, and we have some awesome guests, as well as the booth is called Podcast Central 1677. And we are having about, I think, 12 podcasts and YouTube and social media influencers or whatever they do. They are doing their own show live for about 30 minutes each. And hence the name Podcast Central. It's going to be a center of just all people on social media that have their own kind of thing that they do. So check all of the people we're going to have out on the show each for the whole weekend, as well as we have some awesome guests. We have Andrew Mclean. If you're a comic book reader, I'm sure you've heard of him. He did Headlopper and Apocalyptic Girl for Image Comics. He's the creator, he's the artist, he's the writer of those books. Really good reads. We're also getting some other exciting guests that we're going to be dropping this week via Instagram and Facebook. So it's a little bit of a surprise, but keep your eyes out.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for sure.
I'm sad that I can't make it there too. Fuck, I really want to be there.
I know. Well, next year, hopefully after our run this year and seeing what needs to get better or what we need to do differently or keep doing, next year might be an awesome year for you to come by. Hopefully we're still doing this sort of thing at C2E2.
Yeah, you guys will both have newborn babies also.
Yeah, that too.
It'll be fine. Even with the mom.
They'll be on the show.
Oh, with the moms, that's right.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely want to try and come out next year. And then obviously not this year, but next year you guys need to come out to San Diego Comic-Con so we can do just one big fucking giant episode.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
1,000% in on that.
Definitely. That would be awesome. Do it like a huge live show. Maybe outside on the 405.
Oh, do a live show from the 405. Yeah. Wow.
Might as well. It'll take us that long to get down there, you know.
We could
is crazy.
We could walk up to different cars and then just knock on their windows and do quick interviews with celebrities.
We'll get fucking shot.
Yeah, I see that you're on the 405. Tell me about your experience.
Yeah, you having a good day today?
Every day. How angry do you get?
Yeah.
Knocking on windows. Quick question.
Maybe it will be our own little Impractical Joker type skit.
Oh, God. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I had. If you guys, again, Darryl, if you want to plug your stuff real quick, your IG, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we're on Instagram at Watch It Like. Kevin's been doing a shit job on posting, so I need to get on him. Our producer. Yeah. But we're Watch It Like on everything: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. And just come check it out. We usually, especially when we have guests, we usually try and get people in the industry to give us a little behind the scenes knowledge of what's going on in a particular movie. So we do try and align the movie to the guest to be able to speak to it. So we were supposed to have someone who was a stunt guy on Birds of Prey. He was going to come in, but he got booked on a show actually the day of recording, so we had to go record. And I keep trying to pull the head of marketing for Universal because his wife and my wife are friends, and our kids were in Mommy and Me together. And so I'm trying to get him to come on to talk Fast and Furious the series because he's the head of marketing. Like that's what he does.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
So I want to talk to him about all of that. So we have some pretty cool stuff on there, and we do talk nerd stuff because I'm a huge like comic book, video games, the whole deal. All that stuff. So I really like to expand besides movies.
Same audience. That's what's up.
Very nice. We'll check them out. Watch it like. All right, guys. Well, Darryl, thank you again for joining.
Sure.
Until next time, check us out at C2E2. We'll see you guys all there. But until next time, Chumps out, motherfucker. Peace.